Good morning, good day, and good night, fellow Anchorites, and welcome to Chaos Chronicles. I'm Jordan, and this is my co-host, co-pilot Dustin, and we're discussing all things Disney's Marvel and Star Wars universe. No matter where in the galaxy you are, get yourself a blue milk, a nature gal, or a radium slice, and prepare for takeoff because we have a lot of things to discuss in today's episode.
Hey everyone! Hi! Welcome to the next and final episode
Oh,
of the Skeleton Crew Pod, brought to you by myself and my co-pilot Jordan. Chaos Chronicles, baby.
and then
Final
some.
episode, and then some. Final episode. That was a roller coaster. We just finished the episode, and
Yeah.
it was actually quite great. How did we feel about this? This is a no notes episode. We have no notes. We're going straight from memory, baby.
No notes. Well, we're coming right from watching. Um, I hope they give it a season two.
I do too. I really do. But I don't know. I'm actually on the fence about it, if I'm being so for real. Because
Yeah,
it ended so good that I fear a season 2 would ruin what we just
what the first
experienced.
season had. Yeah.
Yes. But we're all hopeful because this season, in my opinion, I don't know how you feel about this statement I'm about to say, but in my opinion, this content that Disney created for Star Wars specifically is personally my favorite, I think, of times. And that's like even beating like Ahsoka season 1. Like this season, top tier for me.
Yeah, it was rather enjoyable.
Hmm.
It does not beat Ahsoka for me, but I would definitely put it up a little higher
Yeah. Oh,
than
definitely.
what we've had in recent TV adaptations.
Hmm. I think the only reason that, like, for me, going into Ahsoka specifically, um, we knew the characters already. We already had a connection to them. So we already felt a type of way about them. For this, we didn't know any of these characters, but I fell in love with them like really quickly. We had 8 episodes, and I like literally almost. Well, I did get teary eyed during this episode.
I did not, but maybe it could have got there.
Well,
But they didn't do anyone dirty. Like going into it, I definitely felt like, oh shit, someone's gonna die.
right. Which, it could have got there. It definitely could have because there was a couple scenes, particularly during the scenes with Jod and Fern, Wim and their parent, and Fern and Wim's mother and father, where I thought it was getting dicey. The dice were being rolled.
Especially with how last week ended.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh shit, what the fuck is this man gonna do with that lightsaber?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And really, we definitely both expected more to happen with the lightsaber because at the beginning of the episode, we see back to the pits of whatever this is, and he just kind of like puts it away, and then goes on this facade of being still part of this.
I'm a
Uh,
Jedi, baby.
I'm a Jedi, baby, and I'm here to help you guys. But then proceeds to say, like, lock them up, baby, for all the kids except for Fern, which was weird. That was weird, bussy sussy.
Yeah, that was. What was it about Fern that made him be like, oh, you don't have to go home?
Exactly. I feel like Fern. Well,
I think it
I,
was due to her ranking, her mom's ranking. I think that's what it was.
oh, absolutely. Yes, it's definitely because of her mom and where her mom places. but I don't know how Jod would know that. However, it had to
I
have
mean,
been.
out of all the parents, she looks to be the highest ranking. So that is probably just why
Based on
he,
a perception of them in that
yeah,
moment, which is fair. She did look the most like composed for something big.
yeah.
Her outfits are always like high tier. I don't know how to explain it. She always has really good looks. I'm just saying.
Kind of like high ranking official.
Hmm. She and you know what that makes you actually are so right because I was thinking it more on the terms of Fern herself because throughout this season and series in general, Fern has the most leadership skills than the rest of the children do. So
Yes.
maybe it's both situations. Maybe since he's been with Fern for all these episodes, knows from her skills that her mother must be in a higher position because of the skills that Fern has. So I think it's a little bit of both. Like he just assumed because he knew how Fern was, and also just looking, like you said, looking at um, and her name's slipping my mind right now, but Fern's mother, she does look like she has a particular role that the other parents don't.
Yeah, because if you look at Wynn's dad, he kind of looks like he would be like a mechanic
I agree.
in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then KB's parents, wow,
They kind of look like accountants.
kind of.
like something important, but not on the tier that Fern's mom is. And then if you look at Neil's mother, she looks like she looks like a stay-at-home mom, baby. She got her 17 kids.
Yeah. or or she's like the receptionist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree.
She's a working mom.
She's a working mom, has a lot of children. I think they have like 4 kids. I think actually it's not that many, but
It seems like more.
it does seem like more, and they're all really young except for Neil. So I'm like, y'all said
Because
Neil, and then we're gonna wait 17 years.
are they twins? Are they triplets?
I think 2 of
So
them are
I could have
twins.
sworn I had seen 3 babies.
There are 3 babies because there are a couple scenes where yeah, there are 3. I think the 2. Okay, so there's scene. There's kind of no recap, everybody, for this one because we're just kind of going off our memory and what we just watched. But so we do know that like the pirates do get into and it's a whole big ordeal. And there's a scene when the ship is coming down into At Attin. Neil's mother is holding a child, and there's 2 child in the grass or on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the 2 on the ground are twins. And I think the one that she was holding was the youngest one. I don't think they're triplets, but
Too many.
there's yeah, too many is right. But we love Neil's mom. Neil's character comes from his mom 100%. His nurturing um, attitude and his diplomatic ways that we've seen over this season
Yeah.
definitely comes from his mom because his dad looks like a big baller. Like he looks like he's gonna mess you up in the streets. It's on sight.
Yeah. And like, why do I feel like just maybe the dad is the working of Neil's family
I feel like Neil's dad is probably in a similar position that
as
Wendell's dad is
Wynn's?
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's giving to me. And so, in all reality, if we're talking about the roles that are on at Attin, KB's parents are also in similar roles as her moms are also in Wendell's or Wim's dad Wendell's positions. I'm pretty sure that was
Too many
stated.
W names.
Yeah, there's a lot of There's a lot of similar, some names with the same letters. They just said, let's name our kid after the same letter as us, baby.
And then, yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Four.
Do we have everybody? I think we do.
I do too. Yeah, if we're talking about Neil's family.
Yeah.
But so this episode particularly, I genuinely felt like this episode had the best cinematography that we've seen all season. There were a lot of beautiful shots
Our
created.
director.
John Watts, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, was I right?
I had to open the notes for a second because I remembered
I like how you took
asking you
notes.
earlier, and I'm like, yeah, John Watts did
John
a
Watts.
fan, and not only they did a great, like the cinematography this entire episode.
Oh, it was beautiful, stunning.
Several different shots were
Definitely
stunning.
different. We see several shots, and like the two that we talked about was when Neil just wants to take a bath in his big tub, and
That's
then
all he wants.
that's all he wants in his whole life. Just wants to take a bath in this tub. But we see the pirate ship come across his like sky, like his what's the term I want to say? Shoot, like the big window on the ceiling that he has.
Skylight.
Is it called a skylight? Because that's what I thought, but I wasn't
think it
sure.
is.
Okay, I'm glad I was right then because I second guessed myself. So that scene was beautiful as Neil was trying to just take a bath that he never got.
Still didn't get it.
Still didn't get it. And then we get a scene of KB's back shot. She's walking up, seeing the ship in the background, and the winds are blowing her hair. That was beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful colors in this episode as well. Like the color, I don't know. I'm very drawn to colors, so I'm like fully invested when they're beautifully.
At Attin is a very green planet.
It's a very green planet, and I'm not a green girl, but it was beautiful. And I don't this whole from start to finish had beautiful cinematography work. I also not only that, but I do this episode gave Wim his big one. Wim finally got it because Wim was Wim did get it in my opinion because Wim, as we know, Jod. We see the supervisor. Let's talk about that first. How did we feel about that? Because that's something we did clock.
We got that right a while ago. So my only thing, I think I've been watching so much Wicked lately that I was like, Oz.
Right.
That's what the episode was giving me was Oz. I thought maybe somebody was gonna come out from behind the curtain, well, like the giant computer.
Yes.
But when we seen the dust, I was like, "Oh, nobody's been here, girly."
Yeah, we see them walk into the supervisor's office, and there's nobody there. It's very dark and decrepit looking. It's not good. And then Jod,
It was post-apocalyptic.
it was, and Jod ran his fingers across like a chair. I'm assuming it was like a desk chair,
I
and
think
it
it
was
was like
dusty.
a computer. I think it was
Oh,
a computer.
Okay.
But something similar it was in that room. So it could have been anything.
It could have been anything related to an office type furniture item or a computer, but it was
Who
completely
knows?
dusty. It was completely dusty, completely crusty, and the amount of dust that fell off that whatever item it was diabolical. Diabolical.
You would think if they're gonna keep up a front that it's not there is someone, that the room wouldn't look like that.
I agree, which is another weird thing. That's why I'm wondering if like the people of At Attin really know what their supervisor or who it was. which we find out in this episode finally after we've been contemplating and questioning as viewers. We've mentioned it at every episode, I'm pretty sure. But we find out that the supervisor is but a droid, a massive one, like a supercomputer droid. And we kind of call it's giving Oz, very Oz, and I got it too. And we called it, we clocked it. Last episode, we clocked it. We thought it was going to be something similar to this, and it was.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this, it just boggles my mind that this one droid is running the show.
Right.
And it's kind of giving the world we live in with AI and stuff. Which
Yes.
kind of creeped me out a little.
Yeah. Honestly, as we all should be, because AI is really getting to a point where it is starting to kind of freak me out. If you are freaked out by AI, please let us know what your opinions are on it. It's getting too crazy for me.
But Jod definitely goes and sticks his lightsaber in the giant eye.
Yes, Jod decides to take out the supervisor, and we don't know if that's a permanent situation or not, but he does stick his lightsaber right into the eye of the supervisor.
I was kind of surprised with how much everything was so controlled by it.
Mm-hmm.
Because once he broke the supervisor, everybody basically died. Power went off. Surely a planet can't be just run off of a super
one
droid.
device. Yeah. And you're right. It shut down everything on the planet itself, including the droids, which were the only beings on the planet that knew how to physically fight. Which is crazy to me. Crazy.
You would think a planet this treasured wouldn't be that easy.
No, agreed. And you think that there would be some kind of group. Maybe I'll say military, but a group of people that knew how to battle in case of an issue that actually would happen. Because, as we know, At Attin has been completely, impossible to find.
Right.
So the fact that we have this planet that's very hidden, has been purposely hidden so hard, why isn't there any kind of group that can help defend it? The only defense they have is really the barrier.
And even then, for me, it felt too easy to lower the barrier.
Definitely too easy. No, as
y'all deserve to be robbed for how disappointing this planet is.
Super disappointing. Disappointing in the sense that it doesn't make sense to us because we're both like, what the heck? But it's just weird. I don't know. The fact that Jod could just make up a story, make it all the way down to where the credits are with no problem at all is concerning. Super concerning in itself.
He's giving fake it till you make it.
And he did fake it till he make it. The whole episode. He had the parents believing him too. And we saw Wim and Fern try to hint at their parents that, hey, this isn't what you think it is.
He's not who you think he is.
No. And I'm not, if we're talking about Wim and Wendell specifically, I don't think when Wim told his dad...
He didn't believe him.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. But I do believe that Fern's mother did believe her.
She did, because that's why the mom kind of was like, okay, what do we do?
Exactly. Which that's
Like,
a
she took the lead on it.
right. However, I will say Fern's mom kind of didn't do anything until the very last moment of this episode. I don't know if she was
I
like
think
we've
she was
seen.
scared. I don't know what makes Jod so scary.
I don't either. He's not harmed anyone the whole season. Not well. That's a lie. Hold on, I'm correcting myself. Completely a lie. He did kill Brutus.
He killed Brutus. Actually, I think the kids killed Brutus.
Well, Josh shot Brutus in the head. So
I thought that, like, the kids grabbed Brutus in the claw hand and shot
and John,
guns. Yeah.
no, they did grab him with the claw hand, but Jod's the one that shot him.
Well, here we are.
Here we are, and it. This whole episode was just great. We saw a lot of. We saw Kim. Kim came back.
Uh,
Kind of.
I need to mark him.
Mm-hmm. Can we also talk about how, in this episode particularly, the kid dynamic in group efforts was phenomenal.
I think they figured, I think, like, it took them literally 7 episodes, but I think in this episode, they get the kids kind of seem to all be able to work in tandem.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas other episodes throughout the season, they weren't always on the same page.
No, I think they've actually truly grown to be honestly, as we saw in this particular episode, a unit to not like, what's the term I'm looking for? Don't discredit them because they're kids.
Right.
Because they literally were taking action and making shit happen.
Unlike the parents.
Unlike the parents were taking orders from the children. The kids were so hard together. And this is why I'm saying Wim got his big one finally, because he is the one that said, like, told, like, strictly said, Dad, we are going to save Fern right now. Like, right now.
Immediately.
Because Wendell wanted to go hide, and Wim's like, Jod has Fern. We're not leaving her behind.
And Vern's mom.
And Fern's mom, but that wasn't stated.
Why? She even let that second ship come in. I was like, why?
I feel like they needed to, genuinely, because not only, like, for the plot it made sense, but Fern's mom really felt like it was her only option. Fern tried to stop her from doing that because, Fern's like, we can do this on our own. We don't need to invite this in. But
Right.
in the perspective of Fern's mother, I get why she did it, because you could physically tell she was frightened in that scene.
She was panicking.
And if you're panicking, you do dumb shit when you panic sometimes, we'll say.
I was just like, why?
Why? But it brought out the best scenes, I fear.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We see when she let the ship in. We saw the two scenes we already talked about. We also see KB kind of coming in like, girl, let's go, when the boys are together freaking out. KB comes in on her little bike,
It was
hover
giving
bike.
Sabine Wren on Lethal.
Yes. And I think KB in general gives me Sabine vibes. In, like, as a characters, they're very similar.
Yeah, I could see that.
They're very similar. They're very tech savvy, and they're very baddies. They're giving baddie vibes.
Baddie energy. Fern was also giving baddie energy.
Fern definitely has. Fern has from episode like 1 to
She was
episode
tired of
8,
Jod's shit.
and she should be, as she should be, because Joss really almost killed her like 3 times.
Between Jod and Fern, it's a miracle. No, Jod and Wim, it's a miracle Fern hasn't ended up dead.
No, honestly, and I'm very glad that Disney didn't do that. But speaking of that, Disney almost did that to our girl KB.
Oh, that was so stressful.
It was stressful. So we see K. They need to get a communicator out to Kim, and KB is like, we need to go do exactly what our parents did: get something outside of the barrier to reach Kim.
Right.
And Kim,
which is why she basically flies the ship alone with SM-33.
Yep, and does.
And gets that communicator out to Kim.
But not without a cost.
No.
Not without a cost. Not without a cost, because in doing so, we see Kibi go out to space by herself to get the communication out with Kim, which she does. However, she gets shot down by the pirates that are sitting outside the barrier, and she comes plummeting back in to the planet, and we see her parents are both upset and like in tears.
They were like, you can do anything.
And
like her mom and mom, they're very like hype women.
Yes, and they should be.
Like that whole family is baddies. They're like,
oh, 100%.
We never doubted you.
I agree, and they are. And I really, if we do get a season 2, I do want more of KB's mothers.
I want more of her story,
which we should have gotten after her story about how she got in an accident and all the stuff. What we want to know as viewers,
I want to know what the accident.
Exactly, we all do. I think everyone that watched the show and liked it all want to know what happened to KB, because at this point, hands down, she has to be the fan favorite character. Has to be.
I don't think it's Wim.
It's definitely not Wim. I can see it being Fern.
Fern or KB.
I think so. It has to be, because they've both had. Well, Fern had the best story arc, I feel like, as a character development, in my opinion. But Wim, he was just there.
He's been there the whole season.
He's been there.
Funny because like based off of the way they wrote the show, felt like they want Wim to be the favorite, but clearly, I'd be shocked if he was.
I don't think he is, but I agree. I do think they wrote him out to become the fan favorite, but that's not what happened at all. It has to be one of the kids, in my opinion, because who else would it be? It's definitely not Jod. So, in my opinion, it has to be one of the girls. It's the only thing that makes sense.
You would think so.
You would think. I don't know what is the audience's favorite? Who do you guys like? Please let us know. Who's your favorite? We want to know. Who'd y'all hate? That's a good one too. Who'd y'all dislike? Who'd y'all like? Please let us know, because we're very curious of if you guys have the similar opinions as us.
Because we've been on the same page for the most part all season.
Yeah, we definitely have. So
I can just think that maybe everyone else likes KB or Fern.
Well, we could hope. And if you don't, you're wrong, baby.
Point blank and period.
Oh, point blank and period, because you are incorrect. And if your favorite is Wim, you're very incorrect. Very incorrect.
Let me just leave y'all on Mustafar.
Which, honestly, this is giving very Jod in the back, baby. This is where he belongs.
I mean, we did get a story from Jod.
We got a story. We did. We
I
know.
mean, he's given us stories all season, but
if
kind
we
of gave us why.
he gave us stories, but what my thing with Jod is what's real and what's not. Because he did give us a story.
Pirate.
He did give us a story of this episode. You're right, and he stated that he was starving and poor when he was younger, and was found by a Jedi female, disclosed of who it was, and she trained him. Obviously, that's how he has his ability. So he's a force sensitive user, and sort of trained. I don't know how the extent of that.
We don't know how much he trained, if at anything.
Which is still crazy. Like, if you think about it, would you consider him a Jedi? No. But he's a force sensitive, trained in the force a little bit, at least.
He knows enough to, like, get his, like, he's very in tune with it, I feel. Just because, like, we've seen him in this episode. He was force pushing people.
Force pushing, force grabbing. Not grabbing. Force pulling.
Yeah. So, like, he has to have enough ability to use it. Because he seemed fairly in control of it.
Yes. Which we both thought was kind of we both thought maybe he was doing some magicianal shit with it, but we know he is trained in it now. And the fact that we have like a trained in the Force pirate is really cool to me, because that's not something I don't think we've ever had.
I want to know more about him also, just because I don't know what to make of him.
He's
like, obviously he's giving Sith energy tonight, but I think there's more to it.
There might be more to it, but not even just tonight. He's been giving me Sith energy for a while now.
Well, I did say disgraced Jedi.
But he's been giving Sith for at least 2 episodes. Because last episode he said he was going to cut up the kids. This episode, he almost killed Wim's dad. He shot at Fern and her mother.
Oh, it was chaos.
This whole episode was action packed from start to finish.
Yes. I literally thought he was going to kill someone just to make a
statement.
Yeah.
I agree, and I fully thought so as well. And it's one of those things, but we also thought that we were going to get a death in the sense of KB when she came down falling and crashed the ship into
and that would have been the perfect place to, like, give us a KB flashback.
Yes, I agree. Well, the accident, because it's quite literally another accident.
Yeah, that's why I was like, are we getting something? Are we not? And turns out we get a big 0.
We get nothing on that, which was a loss in the plot for her character specifically. But again, I feel like you were right when you said that the writers, when they were writing it, were trying to make Wim to be the main character, and not so much KB anyway. So if they do have a season 2, I hope that they're obviously listening. So I hope that we get something about her in season 2, if there is one, because I do think she is the main character and like fan favorite energy. She's not main character energy, but you know what I mean.
I wish they would have made her main character energy.
I think she has moments. I think that's the thing I love about this series. So like right now is that all four of the kids have had moments where they give main character energy, then they step back to let their friend have them roll. This whole like the very end of this episode, and that's like kind of like jumping the gun here on this. But when they come together and KB doesn't die, as we saw, and they all run up to her and give her a hug, it was beautiful.
That scene kind of made me giggle a little just because I have been saying ever since Jod's seen that goal that it was giving Scrooge McDuck, let's go swimming. And then the kids are all hugging on a pile of like the
Credits.
credits. I was
Oh,
like,
that is funny. I was on the opposite spectrum. I will say, my eyes were almost in tears. I will say, I'm emotional. It's fine. It's fine, guys. But
someone does. Someone has to be.
someone does. You're right. But that is Skeleton Crew. I don't really know if I have any much more to say about it.
I did wholesome.
Yes.
So I found this on it's like inverse.com and at the wrong number page because I was looking for the director earlier, did not find it, but they had said Skeleton Crew hasn't been renewed for a second season just yet, but creator John Watts is open to continuing the story. In a recent interview with Collidator, I don't know what that is. Watts revealed that he and his co-creator Christopher Ford 100% have a idea for a second season. Whether they got the chance to explore the idea remains to be seen.
Okay, well, that's hopeful. We both kind of we can talk about this briefly too. We both kind of have a thought about what they could do. And you had your thoughts, and I agree with them. So, what were your thoughts again on that? What do you think season 2 could be? What do you think they could do?
I could see us going back out to space.
Mm-hmm.
What is it looks like for At Attin now that the barrier is down?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and the other thing was that we only went to one of the other versions of At Attin.
Mm-hmm.
So we could end up back that way. And also, what does it look like for At Attin now that the
Supervisor's gone.
Supervisor is kaput?
Right? Could they
They need
revive
to
him?
rebuild. They need to rebuild that planet,
Mm-hmm.
and they're definitely at more risk now that the pirates have been, and know that there's gold on this planet.
Yes, I do think that At Attin's kind of at a. It could be a pivotal moment for the planet because now the barrier's down, yes. However, this could open opportunities that Attin has never had because they've been hiding all this time. Now they have um, the um, they have the ability to be a key component in a big alliance.
Right.
We have all the sister planets. We have the we have the really good guys. I'm going to say it. The real good guys. They know where they are now. We have abilities now.
And what does what is Jod's future?
He's still alive,
He is still alive.
alone,
Alone,
which is
but
weird.
are they finally gonna get him in custody? Now
I
that
I would think so.
the rebel
And the pirates, are they in custody, or did they leave?
I thought some left and some didn't. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It it's very up in the air what's happening now for the planet itself. That is because now we have pirates that did escape. They know where it is now, and if a big pirate fleet comes,
And then there's also one point I wanted to make, like the episode, I kept getting like Steven Spielberg vibes just with like the cinematography.
mhm,
And there were times where I was getting reminded of like E.T. on the bikes because of the like speeders.
right, I agree with that.
But we will definitely be keeping an eye on possible Skeleton Crew season 2 news because Star Wars Celebration is,
Very soon,
April.
creeping up,
It's like April 18th, if I'm not mistaken.
right, and there we could get a potential really great amount of
That's where I
information.
see that's where I see a possible announcement.
For Skeleton Crew itself,
Yeah.
I would agree because it gives plenty of time to make an announcement.
4-ish months away. And
I'm
then
excited.
Andor season 2, but you've got to watch season 1.
I need to restart it. I didn't finish it, peeps. Hey.
One
Yes.
Way Out.
Yes, we definitely are going to be back for Andor season 2. Um, but this kind of concludes our Skeleton Crew journey, and I'm kind of sad. I'm not going to lie.
I think it'll always remain a special place. Partly why, because this is the first show we're covering, and then there's more on the horizon. So I think like it will always hold a special place
Hmm.
for us.
I agree. I fully agree. We watched it together. We discussed this with y'all, and it's really like it was a really good starting point. I feel like for something like this. So I'm like happy that I'm glad we didn't start with like Acolyte
Oh,
and then get like shot down because Acolyte flopped. However that happened, I don't know how it happened, but
it wasn't pretty.
it wasn't pretty, and I'm still upset about it, and I'm gonna be hurt about that for a while.
Well, like mm, it was. It could have been better. I think we wasted a lot of time with the Acolyte just because
Hmm.
by the end of it, spoiler alert, everyone switches paces, essentially.
Everyone either dies or switches places, and then we just were left with a cliffhanger.
Where is OSHA's future?
Where is the future of Acolyte? Gone.
Dead. Blown
Dead
up.
and blown up, baby.
But
But I feel like I have nothing else to say about this. Skeleton Crew is amazing. Do you have anything else to say?
no.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for this journey between Skeleton Crew. We've become a crew ourselves now, I feel. And we will see you back soon.
Oh, how cute.
We
We
will
will
see you.
also have all the Star Wars celebration stuff
Yes.
as it happens.
Catch us back for celebration content and or season 2 reviews and recaps and talks. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much for this journey through Skeleton Crew. We adore you. Bye, guys. And until next time, Anchorites, and thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Chaos Chronicles. Feel free to check the links below for our TikTok, Instagram, and much more. And what were your thoughts on this week's episode? How did you feel about what happened in this week's universe? We would love to hear from you. Please leave your comments down below. And until next time, once again, I'm Dusty, and this is my co pilot, Jordyn, and we are Chaos Chronicles. Thank you so much for watching.